Farmers in the United States have been hammered in multiple different ways, on multiple different fronts, for many, many years now. It all started, of course, with Donald Trump's trade war. Then the pandemic hit. Then, of course, we had inflation. Farmers are struggling and they're facing a record number of foreclosures and bankruptcies. So what the federal government has been doing for a couple years now is issuing direct payments to American farmers. So far, they have given direct money to the tune of $800 million. Given that money directly to farmers, here is your check, so that they can pay their bills and continue providing food for the United States of America. They just announced this past week that we're going to be pouring another $1.3 billion to keep these farmers afloat. Now, let me start by saying I don't have a problem with this. I am not complaining that we are giving money directly to farmers so that they don't go bankrupt or they don't have their farms foreclosed upon. We depend on these people for our food. They are vital to not just the economy, but literally to our survival. We need them, and they need this money because they're facing an unfair set of circumstances. What does, however, piss me off is that this story that I'm reading here and the other stories I've read on the issue, not once did any of them mention Trump's trade war and how it impacted farmers here in the United States. Not one. That's what pisses me off. I can honestly tell you that since Biden took office, there is only one person that I have seen talk about Donald Trump's trade war. I'm not saying this is the only person that's talked about it, but it's damn sure the only person I've seen, and that's me. And I'm not saying that to brag. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I swear I mention it once a month and then it disappears. We have not ended Trump's trade war, folks. Does everybody understand that? That the trade war got so bad that right before the 2020 presidential election, you know what Donald Trump did? He had the U.S. Department of Agriculture start cutting checks to farmers, $10,000, $20,000, just to essentially bribe them to vote for him. Farmers were facing record numbers of bankruptcies. So he had his people come out, write them checks, and deliver it directly to their front door. That's how bad the trade war got. And Biden has not reversed it. So these farmers are still getting screwed from Trump's policies that have not been fixed. Then, as I mentioned, COVID came along, made things so much worse. Now inflation is also killing them. But those hits they took from both COVID and from inflation would not be so bad, their situation would not be as dire as it is today if Trump's trade war didn't kick it all off. So it is journalistic malpractice for any article talking about the plight of American farmers to not mention Donald Trump's trade war. And I think more and more people need to be talking about that, and we need to be pressuring President Biden to reverse it, to undo the damage that Donald Trump did. People's lives depend on it. And if they go down, we go down. Because as I mentioned, we're fully dependent upon these farmers to get our food. If they go out of business, tighten your belts, because it's going to be a rough time. This is Hattie. Hattie wants to know why you have not subscribed to our channel. You obviously like our videos, so do us a favor and subscribe.